Hi everyone, it's Sintang Mayumi. I'm back with another lunch notes idea. I will show you 3 ways to create your background for your lunch notes using inks and coloring mediums that you have. For our first background, we are going to create a rainbow background. I'm going to use my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. I chose 6 colors from the watercolor pencil set that I have, and I just scribble the colors on the paper, and then I'm going to intensify those colors using paintbrush with water. The paper I'm using is 140 pound Strathmore watercolor paper cut to 3.5 by 2.5 inches, and this size fits in a baseball card plastic sleeves, but you can use whatever watercolor paper you have in your stash and cut to size that you like. I did try my other mediums for this rainbow background. This one is my Zig markers. I also tried my Daniel Smith watercolors, and I love how bright this rainbow background using my Tombow markers. I went back and add more colors on this panel that we colored, and then I intensify the colors again with water. For the second background, we are going to make dot patterns on the paper using finger dabber. I call this rainbow dot background. I'm using distress ink this time, and the colors are barn door, spice marmalade, mustard seed, maudlin, tumbled glass, and dusty concord. And I'm just randomly adding dots on the paper, and some of the colors are overlapping a little bit. For our third background, we are going to do some ink smooshing. I use acetate from stamp packaging to do this technique. I'm using my distress inks again here, but if you have the oxides or other inks, you can use them too. It's been a while since I used my distress inks, that's why I decided to use them on these projects. I learned this technique from Laura Bassen. I love watching her card videos. It's so entertaining, and she is really good at blending colors. Her cards are gorgeous. I'm going to show you another one here. I add the ink on the acetate, spray it with water, and smoosh it on the paper. I dry the first layer of ink with my heat tool, and I will come back with another layer, but this time I will add just a little bit of water to get the smaller puddles of ink on the acetate, and when you add it on the paper, it will look speckles. And here are my finished backgrounds. After we are done with the backgrounds, we need to add sentiments on our panels. If you don't have this stamp set, you can use stickers on your lunch notes and then just write your sentiments. This stamp set is from Simon Says Stamp called Lunchbox Notes 2, and this is 6x8 stamp set. I'm rubbing my hands on the stamps because they are new and I haven't used them yet. This way they will stamp a little bit better. And after you use them a couple of times, they will stamp perfectly on the paper because these are photopolymer, and you just need to season them like your cast iron pans. So this is afterthought, and I was not planning to emboss the sentiments, but I decided to emboss them with clear embossing powder. I thought it would look nice to have shiny embossed sentiments. And I'm using Wow Clear Gloss Superfine Embossing Powder. And because I used VersaFine Onyx Black ink, the ink didn't dry quickly and I had time to add the embossing powder. I add I love you sentiment on the back of the panels using Stampendo's Love Always stamp set. I also add the two tiny hearts next to the I love you sentiment. For the ones that has writing on the back, I cut a scraps of paper and adhere it on the back, and I know that was my mistake that I used a pen instead of pencil, and I have to cover it up because I can't erase the pen writing. And stamp the I love you sentiment on the back of these panels. And my lunch notes are finished. I did make two of each designs because I have two boys and I want them to have the same lunch notes every time I add this in their lunch bags. I hope you like these 3 ways to create your background. You can use these background techniques on cards too and other projects. As always, thank you so much for always watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you like today's projects, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.